lovedreamingpeach.com.
Peaches, how are you? I hope you are well. So, I wanted to talk a little bit more about Jen Soto and this whole she's not arrested thing. There's no evidence of a crime kind of supposed BS that's being said. And she hasn't been arrested. It is October 16th, 2024. I'll just say, on an unrelated case, Wendy Adelson has also still not been arrested. Generally, I find it disgusting for somebody to conspire to murder someone and to walk away free, like Wendy Adelson continues to do. In my opinion, she
Regarding
did
Jennifer
have
Soto.
everything
And then as
to
far
do
as
with
Jen
it
because
Soto,
she allowed him access, he would never have been there if it hadn't been for her.
or may not have had anything to do with her daughter's untimely, horrific demise. You see, I don't know. I guess, I get it. Cops have to find actual evidence, but aren't your own words, I sent them upstairs to bed, isn't that actual evidence? And how is it not a crime to send your 12-year-old daughter to bed alone with a grown man to sleep in a locked room all night long? How is that not a crime? How is it not illegal to allow your minor child to go unsupervised to be with a grown man who has full access to her? How is that not a crime? Just like people say, shouldn't Justin Bieber's mother face some type of criminal charges? What about Usher's mother? That's another side note. I find it just like, I guess it's racism, but you hear the stories about Usher as a 13-year-old boy allegedly maybe getting AR'd by P. Diddy. But people in comments are saying he's a predator. And then you have 13-year-old Justin Bieber potentially, maybe allegedly having that also happen to him. And he's the victim. They're both victims. Then, I did realize yesterday Usher is 16 years older than Justin Bieber. And so if Usher was being R'd and then he, he pulled people in. I mean, that's like what Ghislaine Maxwell did with that Virginia Guthrie girl. You turn your victim into the perpetrator. You turn your victim into the trafficker. And yes, if you were abused and then you became a predator, you should face criminal charges for that, okay? But back to Jen Soto. She was getting money from Stefan Stern's dad every month for Stefan Stearns to have a room where he was essaying her daughter. How does that not stack up to evidence against her? She was financially benefiting. She was benefiting from the fact that money was coming into her apartment to her. Was she giving that money to her father-in-law? Or no, it's not her father-in-law, it's her father. Was she giving money to her father? Does it matter? If the matter went directly from Chris Stearns to Maddie's dad, not Maddie's dad, Jen's dad, Maddie's granddad, does that make her not complicit? Guilty? You're saying that this woman was getting money every single month and giving access to this grown man to her daughter, and that there's no evidence against her? What kind of world is this? Where that could be... Oh, what kind of world is this? The kind of world where an adjudicated rapist can actually run for the highest office of this country. The commander-in-chief the chief executive, the chief citizen, chief diplomat, chief host, chief politician, chief legislator. This guy is allowed to be a 34 convicted felon rapist with 26 women who came forward about what he's done. That's the world that we live in, where a woman could give full access to her daughter, her innocent daughter, for half her daughter's life to a grown man who was using and abusing and exploiting and monetizing the abuse that he was doing to this daughter. And that woman's going to walk free? She's going to walk free, and then there's going to be people out here saying there's no evidence against her. The cold, hard, despicable facts of the fact that what she did as a mother, that's evidence against her. She should be put in jail for child exploitation, child endangerment, child neglect, for depraved heart, for the ultimate indifference, for using and abusing and financially benefiting from her daughter's demise. That's evidence. That's evidence. The man was living in her house, abusing her daughter. There were cameras upstairs. There were cameras in this little makeshift fake room with the fake walls in the living room where supposedly was Madeline's bedroom. There was a camera tripod in that area. They were drugging her every night. She was going to the doctors for bowel obstruction. They were giving her Miralax, laxatives, at night all the time. This is not okay. This is not how people are supposed to be treating children. This is evidence. You're giving your daughter laxatives. She was tracking her daughter's period. Who the fuck? Except for somebody who is sick and twisted, who is tracking their teenage daughter's period. Talk about freak show. Talk about MAGA, psycho, we want to be in your private. Who's tracking a period on their teenager unless it's a woman who knows her daughter is being raped regularly, which could lead to pregnancy, so therefore let me track this girl's period so that doesn't happen. She literally said the sex stuff wasn't evil, but the murder is evil. The sex stuff wasn't evil. She said that on tape, y'all. That's called evidence of a crime. Evidence of evil, vile, despicable. Danger to your daughter, danger to society. You need to be in prison. And as the ex-daughter of a sex worker who was abused, used and abused and discarded as well, I sometimes think about, actually I thought to myself the other day, should I press charges against my biological mother for the things that she did to me and allowed others to do to me? Jen Soto isn't alive to press charges. Jen Soto isn't alive to heal and maybe learn how to be loved and maybe learn how to recognize that when she's crying at 4 a.m. in the morning for the horrible things that happened to her, it's not her fault. She was just an innocent little girl whose own biological mother left her in the hands of a monster because she was a monster. They were monsters together. Jen Soto is a monster who should go to jail. That's my opinion. May she rot in the hell of her own making because she's an evil, despicable criminal.
at lovedreamingpeach.com.